Hey guys, it's EffectiveKill here for a quick review of the game Skullgirls. I picked it up a couple of hours and I've been playing through it. I played through training, got a tiny bit into single player, and this is just a quick, in-depth, if it's worth it review. So far it seems like it's worth it. It's a fun game. It's a more control fighter. Like Mortal Kombat, you could say, has its own little following and its own people that know all the move combos. This, on the other hand, is more of a new type fighting game. It can be helpful for new players like me. I'm not a big fighter person. It has a really expansive tutorial thing explaining everything from moving and dodging all the way to performing special attacks with secondary people or blocking and attacking at the same time, or all those really expansive stuff. Versus seems to be pretty open. I guess you could try to join matches. I created a couple, and considering I was just starting, I was beginner, but the beginner seems to be kind of bullshit. If somebody just chooses any, it can be like an extremely, which I swear I was fighting against. Well, the first one was medium difficulty. I won the first one, then he slaughtered me the rest of the times, and then the next two matches after that, I got slaughtered immediately. And it was more of the third one was the one that I thought was a little iffy. Could have just been me, but it's more of you can choose a roster from one really powerful character to two kind of high-powered characters to three normal power characters. It's pretty cool in the roster about that. The only thing that I don't like about it is there's no real move lists, or none that I've seen. It's a little tough because I would like to memorize specific moves that would work, but it seems to be that this game has a good towards of if you press the random buttons you can probably figure out a combo, and everyone seems to have this major attack. Like if you attack enough, it builds up your tiny little bar in the corner. Like imagine it's over here, or I'm failing, it's over there, and it fills up the bar, and then you can perform a special attack in a sense. Like different characters have different things. One of them that seems to be wearing some sort of gloves that are faced like fists will do that, or another one will fire a laser out of their head and then fire secondaries if you perform the secondary part of it. The story seems to be interesting. It's all centering around, what's it called? I think Skullheart? I think that's what it's called. I played it not the longest amount, but it's basically if you get that, if you're pure of heart, you become extremely powerful. If you're not, you become a Skullgirl, which is basically you become, in a sense, the devil. You become extremely powerful and not a good person, in a sense. You become evil. But really, it seems like a really good game. And for $15, you can't go wrong. It also has a try, which is pretty good. It basically covers training that you can try, and a versus against computer players. You're only restricted to two characters, and that's one thing I wish they expanded. There is only about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 characters. If you look at my screen, I don't have it on, but I'm just trying to count in my head how many characters are there. There are only 8. I would have preferred more. Also, this game does have a lot of jiggle physics. But, whoa, it's moving the laptop has failed the camera. Focus. But, basically, it has a lot of jiggle physics. You get the characters that, like, one of them called Misfortune, she'll do this. Another one will just basically walking towards you. You see her basically walk in the stereotypical one. They all seem to be interesting in the way that they're portrayed. Some of the characters seem to be like Misfortune is a thief who is also undead. Pretty cool. Peacock is a young inventor. There's a ninja that is a nurse. There is something called Painwheel. I think that's an experiment gone wrong. There's one that seems to be Satan. It can take every other form of every other character. It's like a blob that kind of is just like, and then it takes other forms. There's one person that has like the fist that I was telling about that she wears on her head. She seems to be a circus performer. There's one that has a spiked type creature that lives on her head also. I think that's hair or something. That's the short amount of characters that I was able to experience. If you're a fan of fighting, pick this up. If you're kind of moderate to fighting, I'd recommend a try before a buy. But overall, I'd probably give this game an 8 to an 8.5. If you don't know my grading scale, I grade it from kind of, like for example, For another game like Skyrim. Skyrim, I gave a 9.8 to a 10. Very high score. But I gave a point system. You can choose 9.8, 9.9, or 10. It's your choice whether if you believe it's that. Like, if you played the game and you're like, his review didn't seem right. I don't think this was an 8. I think this was an 8.5. There, it's an 8.5. It's an 8 to an 8.5. I'd recommend picking it up if you're a fan of fighters. It's a very fun game, very fun atmosphere to it. Some things that could use a little tweaking, move lists. Some of the training is explained well, but not enough. Like, there are combos that are up to 6 buttons at once, and for someone like me that doesn't play it, it's a bit confusing of the way they're like, well, you have to jump high kick, then low kick, then high kick, then all that crazy stuff. But good game so far.